And people always ask me, why do you still like dogs? You're crazy. What's up, y'all? My name is Melissa and I'm back with another video. And today's video is gonna be a story time. This is gonna be about the time that I got attacked by a dog and I got 21 stitches on my face. So let's jump into the video. All right, boom. So it starts off like this. I used to live with my cousin when I was in middle school, and there was this little girl that we used to watch after school until her mom would leave work and come and pick her up from my cousin's house. Well, our house, I should say, because, we used to live together. So one day I promised them I was going to help them with their homework as we were walking home from school. So then my mom calls me and she's like, oh, well, Melissa, can you go to the grocery store with me and whatnot today? So, we could do some grocery shopping and whatnot. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go, forgetting that I was supposed to help my cousin and this little girl with her homework. So I was like, all right, fine, yeah, I'll go to the grocery store with you. So when I got to the house, we all got inside, everybody settled down and whatnot. So they were starting to get their books out. We were gonna start helping each other with our homework. So then my mom comes downstairs talking about, oh, Melissa, let's go to the store now. And I was like, oh man, I did tell her I was gonna go to the store with her. I was like, all right, cool, let's go to the store. So I told my cousin and the little girl, I said, when I'll be back. So when I come back, I'll help you guys with your homework. And then the little girl was like, oh, my mom's leaving work early today and whatnot. And I was like, amazing. I was like, all right, I'll be right back. So we left. My mom and I started walking to the store because the store was like right down the street from the house. It wasn't too far. So like halfway there, y'all, halfway there to the store with my mom. I was like, Mom, you know what? I promised I was going to help with the homework. So I really want to go back so I can help them. And my mom was on the phone. She wasn't really paying attention to me. And she was like, okay, yeah, whatever, Melissa, go back. That's like, go ahead, just go back. I'll go by myself. I'm like, why you gotta be like that? I said, all right, cool, no problem. So I started walking back to the house, and then my cousin had a dog because she passed away, sadly. Her name is Kiki. And I was knocking on the door to let my cousin know that I was there. I know wishful thinking would be to just call her, but since she was already downstairs, I didn't know where her phone would have been, and I know she would have been there. So I was just like, let me knock on the door, and she's gonna open the door for me, and we could all get this homework thing situated. So her dog started looking at me all funny, and I'm like, why is she looking at me like that? Like, I've never had a dog look at me like that. So I started knocking, and since I lived there for years, a dog would know who lives there and who's an intruder, and a dog would have that sense to know, like, hey, who's this random knocking on my door? Maybe I should be in protective mode. But that wasn't the case because I lived there. So I knocked on the door, and I'm like, why is she not opening the door? So I looked at the dog, and I'm like, Kiki, what's wrong with you? And then she gave me this weird stare. So I turned to her, like, instead of knocking and making her, get all razzled up, like, I stopped knocking and I turned to her and I'm like, Kiki, what's wrong with you? And as soon as I said that, she charged, like, she took off at me. She jumped on me and bit my face like this. When I tell you, when she bit my face, y'all, it felt like a truck smashed my face. I couldn't I couldn't even feel my face. Like, all I know was that something happened and my face got super hot. And then I went into panic mode because my face felt like it was on fire. I didn't know what happened. It was like a flash to me. It was so unreal. Like, I didn't even know what happened. Like, I didn't even know I got attacked because it happened so fast. So after that happened, I started banging on the door. I'm like, open the door, oh my God, open the door, oh my God. Mind you, my face was covered in blood. I couldn't really see, like, my eye was all blurry, and I was like, oh, open the door. My cousin opens the door. My cousin flips. She starts screaming. Mind you, I don't know what I look like. She knows what I look like because she just opened the door and see blood all over my face, and she went into panic mode. She's like, oh my God, what happened? And I'm like, Kiki bit me and whatnot. And she was like, oh my God, what do you want me to do? So she was like, come, let's go wash off your face because it's bleeding a lot. So she put me underneath the sink and she started rinsing off my face. And she's like, what do you want me to do next? I was like, call my mom. It was funny now, but it wasn't funny back then because she didn't know what to do. She was like so terrified. Like I would have been too if I opened the door and I see someone like my cousin or any family member covered in blood in their face, and I wouldn't know what to do either. So I gave her my phone and my hand was all bloody. I said, call my mom here, tell her so I can go to the hospital or something. So she called my mom and she's like, Kiki bit someone. And my mom's like, Kiki bit who? What happened? What are you talking about? So my mom ended up turning back. She came back to the house and saw my face, and my mom went crazy. My mom didn't know what to do. She's like, oh, my child's face is disfigured now, her face is all disfigured. I will leave a picture somewhere here of what my face looked like, and I will leave a picture of the stitches I had on my nose. I couldn't get the full zoom picture. I don't know what my mom did with it, but I did get a little funny picture of me during the healing process. But yeah, so my mom called her dad and called everybody. So because he was the only one that drives in the house, so my mom had to call him so he could drop me to the hospital. So when everybody got home, they saw my face. They were like, oh my God, my white jacket was covered in blood. It was like, it was a mess. So I got to the hospital, and honestly, the hospital was quite busy that night. I don't know what was I don't know what was going on, but all I know is my whole face was bloody, and I didn't know, I don't know. So I did the whole check-in thing. The lady gave me a gauze and she said, here, just hold it there so that way the blood won't keep flowing. So she's like, okay, you can have a seat and the doctor is gonna see you soon. So I said, well, how soon is soon? Because I'm in a whole lot of pain. So she was like, have a seat. It shouldn't be too long because your case is severe right now. You know, we're going to push you up to the front. So I said, all right, cool. I sat down. Within like a minute of me sitting down, the gauze pad that she gave me was covered in blood. My hand was bloody. So I went back up. I said, hi, can I get another gauze pad, please? And she gave me one, and I sat back down. That got filled in the next minute. I was losing so much blood. So by the third time, I said, let me just go back up and ask her for the whole box. Because at this point, if I'm still going to sit here, I'm just going to bleed to death. You know, where's the urgency? I mean, I know the hospital was full of people, but nobody's face was falling apart. Well, I didn't know what my face looked like yet still because I didn't see my face. And quite frankly, I didn't want to see what my face looked like just as yet. So I went back up to her and I said, hi, I need more gauze. She's like, here, just take the box. I didn't even have to ask her for a box. You know, that's urgency because she knew. So as soon as I sat down with the box, took it out, put it on my lip and whatnot, and I had some on my nose, then they were like, oh, they called me Melissa. I said, okay. So I walked in, and then the doctor, he looked at me, he was like, oh my God, you are blessed. You are very blessed, because if you see how close this was to your eye, you almost had permanent like eye damage. Like you wouldn't even be able to see out of your eye. Your eye probably would have been gone if she would have gotten like less than an inch closer to attacking you by your eye. You see, like your eye is saved. You are so blessed. And I was like, that's great news. So like, what am I gonna do? Like, so he was like, well, we're going to give you some stitches and we're going to numb your nose and numb your mouth so you're not gonna feel it. So I was like, okay, cool. That sounds cool. So he left. So some guy was walking across the room and he stopped dead in his tracks and he's like, oh my God, look at your face. He's like, I have to stitch you up. I have to do it. I don't know if that guy was my doctor. I don't even remember who that was, but he's a plastic surgeon. I learned that at the end. He's a plastic surgeon. He came to do my stitches, but I never saw the doctor guy that came and told me all this stuff. Maybe he called him and he started going the wrong. Like I said, I don't know who that guy was. He just stopped and looked in the room and said, oh no, we have to get you into immediate, like we have to do your stitches. And it just made me freeze. Like, were you the guy that they sent? Or like, up to this day, I don't know. But thank you, doctor. If you see this video, I don't know. So the stitches process was so painful. When I tell you I've never been in so much pain, I think the bite, since my face went completely numb, I think the bite felt better than the stitches. So anybody that got stitches before know that they have to numb the area. So I don't know if this is just me, but my body doesn't do well with anesthesia. Like, it doesn't work. That's what that means. It doesn't work. He injected my nose all here And then he's like, do you feel me touching your nose? And I'm like, yeah, I could feel you touching my nose. And he's like, really? That's not supposed to happen. And I'm like, well, I could feel you touching my nose. He injected it. He kept injecting it. He injected my nose like 16 times. When I say 16 times, and he's like, do you feel me touching your nose? I was like, well, not that much, but I could feel it a little bit, but I can't feel you, you know? And he was like, he was so confused because he couldn't understand, how is it that you feel me touching your nose and I pretty much overdosed your nose of local anesthesia? So anyway, he's like, all right, well, we're just gonna start the stitches. I said, okay, not bad. So he started from here, because it starts from here. And then by the time he got here, I was like, I could feel you so in my face to get together. He's like, how? So he started injecting my nose more with the local anesthesia. So I was like, first of all, that local anesthesia injection, it hurt so bad. I cried more for the local anesthesia than anything else. And plus, it wasn't even working. So after he injected my nose like 5 more times with the local anesthesia, he went ahead and tried to finish as quickly as he can to finish stitch my nose. When he got right here to the bottom, when you take a needle and a thread and you sew something and you could see it closing together, that's how I felt my skin. I was like, yo, this hurts so bad. He was like, how are you still feeling it? So by the time it was time to stitch my mouth, I think he put me to sleep, because I just remember him laying something over my face so the light won't blind me. All of a sudden, I don't remember what happened. I feel like he put me to sleep because I don't remember getting the stitches in my mouth at all. I didn't remember. Meanwhile, they had a nurse holding my hand because my mom had to fill out paperwork about the dog, make sure the dog got her shots, make sure she doesn't have nothing. I had to get injections too to make sure what if the dog had something. I had to get vaccines and all kind of thing. So the nurse was holding my hand. Meanwhile, I was breaking the nurse's hand because I wanted my mom, and they was like, oh no, she's filling out paperwork, she can't be with you right now. But after they finished up my stitches and I woke up and I'm looking like, my first thought was like, did y'all put me to sleep? I don't remember. I don't remember none of this happening. So when I got up, I saw my mom and I was like, I'm up. I was like, how do I look? And then my mom, she didn't know what to say. And I didn't look at my face. Like, it took me honestly about maybe 2 or 3 days before I honestly looked at my face. Like, they told me, make sure it stays clean, make sure you sterilize and everything so that way it doesn't get infected. You can't eat anything because, the stitches in there, it could get infected, and then we're gonna have to take it out and it's gonna be one big problem. I was like, what do you mean I can't eat? I didn't eat anything all day. I just came from school. I had to help with the homework. I still didn't even help with the homework. I think the whole homework thing was put on no more because we didn't do the homework anymore. And I did not eat. I only ate at lunch when I was at school. And by then it was like 6 o'clock. I was like, I'm starving. What am I gonna eat? So he was like, oh, you could eat ice cream or like mashed potatoes, but nothing too, harsh for your mouth because your mouth can't handle it right now. I was like, damn, I am starving. So I said, all right, thank you, whatever. He gave me antibiotics, went back to the house. So I was like, I'm hungry. My cousin's mom was making rice and curry chicken. I was like, man, that smells so good. I really want some food. I'm hungry. And she was like, the doctor said you're not supposed to eat like heavy foods like that. So she said, I can blend it for you and make it like a baby food so you could eat it. And I looked at her like, fine. Only because he said my mouth can't handle it. So she put it in the blender, and the way it started blending up and you started seeing all that array of colors, I was like, no, I don't want that. That does not look very good at all. I said, just give me a little bit of rice and give me some of the chicken and I'll try to eat it on the other side or something, because I'm not eating that. No. Mind you, I did eat the food. It took me a while. I ate it and it tasted so good. I don't know if it's because I was starving, but her mom can really cook some good food. So I went to the hospital the next day. I had to get the stitches removed out of my mouth because it was gonna get infected, because I didn't follow directions. Sorry, doctor. I had to get my stitches out, and he was like, well, you know, he was like, oh, your stitches is stained. It looks like curry. And I was like, yeah, about that. So my mouth had to end up healing on its own. It did bleed a little bit and whatnot. So after that, 2 weeks later, I had to go get the stitches on my nose removed, and they had to take it out while it was still a little open, so that way it will come out and the rest of the skin will heal on its own. So when I went back for a follow-up, he says I have ingrown skin. Let me show you. So right here, I don't know if you could see it, right here, and then inside my mouth, right here. So he was like, oh, since you have ingrown skin, you know, we could take a laser and we can cut it and restitch over it so it can be like, it will be able to level back out with your skin so you can look the same again. And I was like, what? I was like, it hurt the first time. I don't want to take off a layer of skin and restitch it and go through that again. No, I'm good. I said, everybody better love me for the way my nose looks now. I look beautiful to me, and I'm not doing that. So he was like, okay, I respect your decision and whatnot. So eventually I grew into it, and then it looks a lot smaller. So a lot of people, when they see me in person, they don't really know unless I tell them, which is a great thing. But yes, that is my battle scar, and I was like, I love it. And if somebody say, I don't like you because you got that big old thing on your nose, and I'm gonna be like, okay, well, step by. That's something that happened to me when I was younger, and that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel, please. If you want to connect with me, you can follow me on Instagram at _MellyMells. I will post it right here or right here, somewhere over here. And also, guys, don't forget to leave your comment below. Any crazy stories that happen to you, let me know. Comment below. Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. Bye.